Get breaking news alerts wherever you are. Download the NBC 2 News app today.
Summer break is officially over and kids are heading back to the classroom.
Put the phones down, keep your eyes on the road, and just drive safely.
Coming up at 5:01, NBC2 Chandler Blackman is live, showing you how to safely share the road with school buses.
And a shooter putting other people's lives in danger, including his own grandmother. We'll share the brand new information we just got about a deputy-involved shooting.
Obviously, a lot of them were very hungry, a lot of them were very frightened.
Hungry, hurt, and alone. We'll explain if anyone will be punished for the way these pups were treated.
Live, the news you count on. NBC2 News Today.
Well, right now you're taking a live look over downtown Fort Myers. That sun is not up yet, but you know what? We know a lot of you are up early. It's the first day of school here in Southwest Florida. Thanks so much for joining us for NBC2 News Today. It is 5 o'clock. I'm Lisa Spooner.
And I'm Alan Campbell. Summer break is officially over for kids, so make sure you check the forecast before you head out the door.
Let's check in now with First Alert meteorologist Jason Denning. Let's give us a bus stop forecast and also school release forecast.
Yeah, you know what? It's still technically summer in Southwest Florida, even though the kids are heading back to school. But we're gonna see a little bit of a change in our summertime pattern today, especially in our rainy season pattern. We've got some rain out there this morning. You'll notice some downpours in the Gulf of Mexico. That's all building away from the coast. So rain is not going to be a big issue as we start the day and the kids are headed out to the bus stop this morning. Maybe you're trying to go to work. We've got pretty warm temperatures in place, mid to upper 70s as we start the day. And the game changer in our weather today is a big plume of Saharan dust that we're tracking. We've been alerting you about this over the last several days. It's not going to reduce air quality a whole lot unless you're really sensitive to it, but it will help to produce those hazier skies, and that dry air really helps to reduce our rain coverage. There's still going to be a few thunderstorms out there today, so you might want to just bring in the umbrella just to be on the safe side, because the storms that do develop can be on the stronger side with some lightning, some gusty winds, and heavy rainfall. But look at the overall percentages of our rain chances today. Yesterday we were around 60%. We've cut that in half today with some of that dry air up above. So we're down to a 30% rain coverage, mainly from the mid to late afternoon. I think the bigger story today is the heat, especially as the kids are getting out of school. 96 degrees by 3 o'clock, and you can see that haziness that we're going to have out there thanks to some of that Saharan dust. Coming up in your First Alert forecast, I'm tracking the dust, and much longer it's going to stick around, and also some changes for the weekend. That's coming up at 5:15 in your First Alert forecast.
Breaking right now at 5:02, Collier County deputies are looking for the driver of an SUV found stuck in a ditch on Port-au-Prince Road. This is right off Collier Boulevard. The sheriff's office says when they showed up, they found the SUV in about 3 feet of water and the driver's seat empty.
5:02, summer break is officially over, and this morning families across Southwest Florida are getting ready to send their kids back to school. But the start of the new school year also means buses will be back on the roads, taking thousands of students to campuses. But do you know how to properly share the road?
So according to Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles in 2021, there were 2,700 crashes involving school buses. The number of school bus crashes in Florida nearly doubled from 2020 to 2021. And take a look at this. In 2021, crashes in Lee County, they also increased. Last year, there were 200 school bus crashes, one crash away from a record high. NBC2 Chandler Blackman joins us live this morning from Cape Coral, reminding drivers how we can safely share the road. Chandler, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Alan. Well, yeah, school is back in session, but today's lesson is for all of the adults who are on the road. In less than an hour, kids will be loading the buses along our roads, so it's important to take precaution when you're approaching a bus. So let's say you're traveling down Santa Barbara, as we're doing right now, and a bus is in front of you on either side of the road flashing their red lights. If the road is divided into 2 lanes, that's your cue to slow down, stop, wait for the kids to get on, and proceed forward once those lights are off and the extended handle is pulled back. On your screen is an example of what I'm referring to. Now, if there are several lanes with a turn lane in the middle, you must also stop. Now, in this example right here, here's our median. In this example, you wouldn't have to stop. Now, the only exception for when you wouldn't have to stop, as I mentioned, and still proceed with caution, is if the bus is on the opposite side where there is some sort of median. Now, both officers I spoke with say that if you don't abide by these laws, you can face serious consequences for rolling past a stopped school bus, including fines and points on your license, which could lead to suspension. I'm live in Cape Coral. Jenna Blackman, NBC2.
Lee County schools are still in desperate need of bus drivers. The school district says they still need 140 of them. The district is offering full benefits for new drivers, and there will be a $1,000 bonus in October.
Also, Southwest Florida is still struggling with a teacher shortage. We reached out to several local school districts to see how many positions they still need to fill. So Lee County School District tells us they need to hire 200 teachers and are working to hire more. Collier County School District has 60 open positions. Charlotte County School District says they need to hire 30 more teachers. They've already hired 200. Glades County has 3 teaching positions open.
5:06, and new as you wake up here in the NBC2 Alert Center, there's a push to help kids in St. Louis ahead of a new school year who were displaced by flooding just a few weeks ago. Good morning to all of you from the Alert Center. Let's look in live. Sat 30 is our source, the iconic St. Louis Arch there. Isn't that a pretty shot? School starts in St. Louis in a week, in the school district. Leaders this morning, they're scrambling to help with transportation, food, clothing, supplies. Many families don't even have a place to live after that historic flash flooding 2 weeks ago. They don't have the basics: clothing, toiletries, shoes, donation drives. There's a big one underway, and they're hoping to drop off supplies and essentials to these families by the end of the week.
All right, thanks, Stacey. 5:06 right now. This morning, we're learning more about what led up to a deputy-involved shooting that left a suspect dead. So we first told you about this when it happened back in March. And this morning, we know the man who shot at a deputy is this guy, Tyler Phillips.
Happy. So just happy to have choices.
Well, slow internet may be a thing of the past in Cape Coral. Straight ahead, you're going to hear how 2 companies are battling for your business.
And next at 5:18. More people in Southwest Florida means more development. We'll explain why some neighbors don't want the new homes.
And we've got a lot of Saharan dust moving overhead, about 10 to 20,000 feet up in the atmosphere. It's going to stick around for a few days. I'm tracking it and show you how this is going to move around as we go through the course of the week and how it's going to affect your first alert forecast. That's at 5:15.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Palm Casual, celebrating 40 years in Bonita Springs and Fort Myers. Buy at the factory and save.
New this morning at 5:12, the Bradenton Police Department is mourning the loss of a retired canine. Canine Riggs served the Bradenton Police Department from 2013 to 2020 as a narcotics and apprehension canine. He worked alongside his partner and family member, Officer Matt Palmer. Riggs passed away at the age of 10 from cancer, with Officer Palmer by his side.
For decades, Cape Coral residents have dealt with slow and unreliable internet. But now 2 internet companies are battling for customers in Northwest Cape Coral. Comcast is installing a new high-speed internet network. And now CenturyLink, or Quantum Fiber, wants in on the action. This week, Quantum Fiber crews began installing fiber optic cables along Old Burn Store Road and Gulfstream Parkway. And neighbors are certainly glad something is being done.
Happy. So just happy to have choices. That's, I don't like being in a monopoly situation where we would only have one choice.
Comcast plans to complete installation across the North Cape by the end of the year. Meanwhile, Quantum Fiber would hook up 1,000 homes by 2023.
Good news for some folks over there.
Absolutely.
Takes forever to get online and do anything.
I know.
Back to the days of dial-up.
Yeah.
I was thinking you can hear it in your head, right? That AOL.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, today we're going to be looking a little bit dusty out there, at least in our skies. You look up, but I just want to tell you that dust is way up above,
pretty.
and it's going to produce some really colorful skies today. This was from last night, sent in by Debbie Shepard from Bonita Beach. We had some clouds around, kind of bringing out a little bit more color in the sky, but you can also notice that orange and reddish glow, and that is a direct effect of some of that Saharan dust we've been telling you about over the last several days. Amazing how we're able to track it using weather satellites, and this is our Saharan dust tracker, and you can see it's pretty much covering the entire Florida peninsula. Let's look at the next 10 days together. We're going to back off the heat just a little bit as we get into the weekend. But for the next couple of days, we're back into the middle 90s. 95 Thursday and Friday with more isolated thunderstorms, so rain chances tick up a little bit for Thursday and Friday, and then more scattered storms for the weekend. By Sunday, we're going to see a change in the wind pattern. So the winds are going to come in from the Gulf of Mexico. So the storms will start closer to the coast and then push inland out closer to Lake Okeechobee. And that'll be the weather pattern as we look ahead to next week as well, with highs in the low to middle 90s. That's your NBC2 First Alert forecast.
Traffic on NBC2 is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. If you've been injured, call Morgan & Morgan today or visit forthepeople.com.
And it's going to be a busy day on the roads for your Wednesday morning drive, but good news is that right now we're not seeing any delays or crashes. So I do want to start things off in Lee County. If you're taking I-75 this morning or heading down south, we are not seeing any delays. You can see we are very much in the green. But of course, later on, it's going to change. We are going to see bumper to bumper traffic. So take advantage right now if you want to head down to Collier County. Those speed times are coming in at 79 miles per hour for that morning drive. That's your NBC2 Traffic Alert.
We support this business because they are good people. They try to stay neutral. They don't want involved, and that's the way it should be, especially during election season.
But we'll tell you how someone crashed one city council candidate's party.
Plus, no, you're not dreaming, but this looks like a nightmare. Next at 5, the must-see video of a bare naked arrest.
See weather conditions anytime, anywhere with the area's largest network of live weather cameras. The NBC2 View Network, sponsored by Associates and Bruce L. Shiner, attorneys for the injured, focused on justice since 1971.
It is 5:22. A birthday party at a Cape Coral restaurant turned political over the weekend after campaign signs were staked without the owner's permission. Patty Cummings is running for the 4th District City Council seat. She says she was hosting a birthday event for friends at Two Meatballs in the Kitchen restaurant. She says her opponent, Jennifer Nelson's campaign sign, was placed at the restaurant and quickly removed by the owner, but not before a picture of the sign was shared on Nelson's election page. That photo has since been removed.
We support this business because they are good people. They try to stay neutral. They don't want involved, and that's the way it should be, especially during election season.
So Nelson denied to comment about the incident. 5:25. Lightning is to blame for 3 house fires in the past 2 weeks. We told you about this home in the Whiskey Creek community that was hit by lightning on Monday. Fire crews actually said that home now is unlivable. Well, just last week, a home in Charlotte County was also hit. That strike hitting the attic of the home. It too is unlivable. Also in Fort Myers, a house on Fawn Bridge Drive off 6 Mile Cypress was hit by lightning. Thankfully, no one was injured. Experts say the best way for homeowners to protect their house is installing a lightning rod on your roof to help prevent fires and roof damage, just like this.
A fun day at the beach came to a stop after this shark got a little too close for comfort. Next on NBC2, I'll show you the likeliness of a shark attack and what you should do to avoid it.
I literally watched it just fall right on top of the van. It was crazy.
Plus, a tree falls on top of a van full of children. Straight ahead, you'll hear who jumped in to pull them to safety.
Hairstyles on NBC2 are provided by La Tida Salon and Spa. Live, the news you count on. NBC2 News Today.
Well, rise and shine. School is back. Summer break is over. Congratulations, parents, you made it. Thanks for joining us for NBC2 News. I'm Lisa Spooner.
And I'm Alan Campbell. We know there are a lot of early risers out there this morning getting ready to head out to the bus stop for the first day of school. Let's check it out with First Alert meteorologist Jason Dunning. So, Jason, what is it like out there right now?
Well, it's really warm, very summer-like today, and there's going to be a little bit of a change in our forecast compared to yesterday. We're going to turn up the heat a little bit, looking at a high of 96, and that's close to a record high. In Fort Myers, today's record 97, and that was set all the way back in 1987. One of the reasons why temperatures will get a boost today is we're not going to have as many downpours and thunderstorms to cool us off. So rain chances falling, temperatures going up.
Traffic on NBC2 is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. If you've been injured, call Morgan & Morgan today or visit forthepeople.com.
5:31 is your time for this Wednesday morning. You're taking a live look right now of Chiquita Boulevard and Gleason Parkway. And this is what most of our roads right now in Cape Coral look like. Very quiet. Now, this is right near a school, Gulf Middle School. So if you're heading there later this afternoon or this morning to drop off your kids at school, give yourself plenty of extra time. I am going to give you some traffic traffic updates later this morning about what roads you should avoid. That's your NBC2 traffic alert.
All right, thanks, Brianna. Your time right now is coming up on 5:32. From your Collier County News team, some people hanging out at the beach in Naples got quite the show. That's a shark, and it's swimming really close to the shoreline. This video was taken on the beach at Clam Pass Park, and that's where NBC2's Lacey Lee joins us live explaining what to do if you ever come across one of those guys in the water. Good morning, Lacey.
Good morning, Lisa. And the viewer who sent us that video say that the shark was hanging around for just about 30 minutes and then it swam away. But the concern here is just how close it was swimming to people.
5:33, Alan. Something happening right now in the NBC2 Alert Center. Brand new pictures this morning of the Secretary of Defense in Latvia. Let's look at them live on Twitter. Christine, actually, it's video. I'm going to hit play here. You can see here, there he is, Defense Secretary Austin, meeting with members of the military. Also during this stop, talked with the Minister of Defense there and the President of Latvia. The trip is to affirm the United States' commitment to the Baltic region. I'm Stacey Defamon. I track breaking news. I also watch 16 live feeds from all over the country right here every morning in the NBC2 Alert Center. Lisa, good morning.
Your time right now is 5:36. We are now learning more about how it happened and what federal agents may have been looking for when they searched former President Trump's Florida residence and office at Mar-a-Lago.
And this morning we're hearing from Trump's personal lawyer, a Republican congressman and supporter who says he's also being targeted by the FBI. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest on the fallout live this morning for us from Capitol Hill. Jay, good morning.
Hey there. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Lisa. And look, the former president spent last night apparently talking strategy with a handful of Republican lawmakers during dinner at his golf club in New Jersey as the fallout and GOP response to FBI agents searching his Mar-a-Lago home and office continues to intensify.
Hey, let's get out of here, dog. Next, we'll show you the video of a fight in an unlikely tourist location.
Hopefully it's nothing suspicious.
And that car just mysteriously appears in Lee County. But we'll tell you why nothing can be done about it right now.
Plus, our sunsets are getting earlier and earlier. Coming up, I'll explain why we lose daylight so quickly this time of year.
As our population has increased, our water quality has decreased. Now there may be more proof of where it all stems from. NBC2 investigates tonight at 6 on NBC2.
5:43, dogs in Louisiana are now getting ready for their own private plane ride.
NBC Universal's annual Clear the Shelters, the drive to find homeless animals new homes, kicked off last week.
NBC2 is participating and will show you how later this month. For the first batch, they sent about 150 homeless cats from South Florida to Boston. There, the animals will be evaluated and receive any medical care they need before being put up for adoption.
All right, so now let's turn things over to First Alert meteorologist Lauren Hope, talking about why we're starting to lose daylight this time of year. Makes me sad those days are getting shorter, Lauren.
Yeah, I think you're not alone in that. We actually only have, look at this, 9 days left with sunsets after 8 p.m. We also only have 7 more days left with sunrises before 7 a.m. as those days continue to shrink in day length. So why does this actually happen? All right, well, we know that the Earth is orbiting around the sun, and during this time of year, as we are approaching that autumnal equinox, we are actually seeing the northern hemisphere tilting farther and farther away from the sun, hence the cooler temperatures just around the corner, and hence why we see the shorter day lengths here. In general, throughout the month of August, we're about to lose roughly 45 minutes, and we've got a lot more daylight to lose in the coming months. We actually lose roughly 30 to 45 minutes a month from here on out to December. So once you get into December, we're talking only daylight at about 10.5 hours. The highest daylight is in June, of course, where we see roughly 14 hours a month. So if you are hoping to make the most of some of these last sunsets after 8 p.m. of the season. We've got sunset tonight at 8:08. We're going to still see temperatures in the 90s. It's still going to be muggy and incredibly warm. Now, Lisa, you had mentioned, you know, of course it makes us a little sad that the sunsets are getting earlier, but for the morning shift, not too bad. I think a lot of us actually somewhat like it. It makes us feel normal going to bed at that time.
Okay, you raise a very good point.
That's true.
One thing that she also brought up that we kind of got a chuckle with, she's like, those cooler temperatures are right around the corner. Cooler's relative, though, right?
It's all relative. If you're keeping track, by the way, 43 days until the start of fall. That's on September 22nd. What does that mean
fall
for us?
For everyone else.
Everybody else, yeah, that's when the color changes up north. And for us, we usually don't get our first cold front until late October into early November. So we still have a ways to go. And today, the theme is near record heat. If you're looking to the west, you might notice a few flashes of lightning off in the distance. And you can probably see this from, let's say, Cape Coral or Placida, Port Charlotte. See that cluster of lightning there? That's all over the very warm Gulf waters with the water temperatures close to 90. Over southern Collier County this morning, I'm tracking a little patch of rain, and I don't think it's going to last much longer. It's tracking up to the north and west, basically parallel to the East Trail. There's Highway 41 there between Everglades City and up through Lely. There's a slight chance for a couple of spotty showers this morning closer to the coast, but what you see here off the coast will push farther and farther away. The closest lightning strike to us is just about 36 miles away from the Lee County Islands. I want to take more of a three-dimensional view and look up into the atmosphere, and you can see what's going on up there. We've got some haziness, and that's because of those very fine dust particles. So with that Saharan dust, it's going to stay with us for the next few days, which will also produce more colorful sunrises and sunsets.
Traffic on NBC2 is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. If you've been injured, call Morgan & Morgan today or visit forthepeople.com.
Good news if you're in Collier County this morning, no crashes to report, but we are seeing some slight slowdowns right along Pine Ridge Road. This is if you're heading eastbound down I-75 as well as Golden Gate Parkway. This is, of course, heading eastbound as well. And don't forget, today is the first day of school, so we are going to see lots of traffic, heavy delays. So right here at the intersection of 41 and Golden Gate Parkway, we do have Naples High School. So in this area, you're going to have school zones. You want to drive extra carefully. And again, we are going to be tracking all of our school zones and where we're seeing heavy delays this morning. That's your NBC2 traffic alert.
10 minutes till 6. What does it feel like in the eye of a hurricane? Well, we'll show you straight ahead.
NBC2's First Alert Live Doppler Radar is sponsored by Royal Shell Real Estate. We make it easy, you make it home. When it comes to making your plans weatherproof, no one does it better than this team. But to be the best, you need the best. That's why we're geeking out over our newly upgraded Live Doppler Radar, giving you the power to see storms before they hit, tracking, updating, and alerting you first. Not a single drop falls that you didn't already know about. Who else can deliver that kind of power? No one. That's why you count on the NBC2 First Alert Storm Team.
Here in Florida, storms can come in a hurry, but if you have the NBC2 weather app, you'll never get caught off guard. Just choose which alerts you want to receive. Then we'll give you the heads up before bad weather heads your way, making your plans weatherproof.
Sponsored by New South Window Solutions. Made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com. Football season is almost here, and NBC2 is kicking it off early with NFL preseason football. Watch this Saturday as the Dolphins travel to Tampa to take on the Bucs. It's a new season. Catch every play on NBC2. See weather conditions anytime, anywhere with the area's largest network of live weather cameras. The NBC2 View Network, sponsored by Associates and Bruce L. Shiner, attorneys for the injured, focused on justice since 1971. All new this morning at 6.
School is back in session, but do you know the lesson for the road? I'll tell you what to keep in mind when you're approaching these school buses. That's next on NBC2.
Plus, the Collier County Sheriff's Office hit with a lawsuit after deputies were forced to shoot this man. We'll tell you what the family says happened and the response from the Sheriff's Office.
And new information this morning about charges that could be coming for a man who had more than 50 dogs taken from his property.
Looking live from Cape Coral and Fort Myers on the NBC2 First Alert Live Doppler radar. We've got some flashes of lightning about 35 miles off of our coast. This is kind of moving away from us, parallel to the coast. We'll see the chance for a few thunderstorms today. But we're going to kind of flip the script with your First Alert forecast. Things looking a little bit different, and I'll show you what I mean coming up as we track your weather hour by hour, getting you ready for the first day of school across Southwest Florida. That's coming up on NBC2 News Today at 6 a.m.
Count on Kyla Gaylor, weekdays on NBC2.